Sunday morning. I hope you're having a lovely morning. We are. We've put the worlds to rights. We've all caught up with each other. We've had a lovely morning here, and it's only 11 o'clock. Wow, what a morning we have had. It's been lovely, all just catching up. So I hope you're having a lovely morning, and I hope it can only just get better now you're joining us here on Crafters TV. Now, this is all about a masterclass. It's a very special masterclass we've got today, and it's all about your craft room essentials. And I think this is why they've picked this weekend to be our Weekend Wonder. As you know, a Weekend Wonder launches at 11 AM on a Saturday morning, and it'll go through to 1 minute to 11 tomorrow morning when our first pick of the day launches tomorrow. But this is this week's Weekend Wonder, and it really is a craft room essential. It's all about your card and paper. Now you can see there's all sorts of different ones on here. We've got mirror card, we've got glitter card, we've got die cuts, we've got plaid, we've got everything you want. But you're going to be getting this one up here, the Mediterranean Dreams A4 linen cardstock for absolutely free. You're not going to be paying for that. Now this should be £55 or $65, but you're going to get it today for £44 or $52 if you are a platinum member. So you are going to be saving so much money, down from just shy of £80 or $99, I think that reads. And yeah, so absolutely brilliant. Do you know this works out at 29 pence a sheet? You're going to get 30 sheets of your luxury cardstock in the gold, in the glitter, the satin and the mirror that you can see down there. You're going to get 72 pieces in your die cut gift bag pad. So these are all pre-die cut in the shape of a lovely gift bag for you to pop out, and you've even got tags at the end. You've got your blush plaid pad. There, I've got that one out nice and quickly. And you've got your mixed cardstock on the end in the silver. So that's a mix of pearlescent and encapsulated glitter. So this is absolutely perfect. And like I say, you're also going going to get your free Mediterranean Dreams paper pad. I wanted to show you that one so that you could pop that in your baskets nice and quick, because remember, this one will go back up to full price tomorrow morning. £44, $52 if you are a Platinum member. Right, I'm over here today, not got any demonstrating to do today. I'm not going to disappear off to Hobby Maker or do anything like that. I'm going to be here all day. And my lovely friend, Vision in Pink, over in the corner, is here to do all the demos. Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning.
It's a lovely morning this morning. Not quite as warm as yesterday.
No, but it's positive.
Nice. It is.
It is positive. Apparently we've got a heat wave coming.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, the last time we had a heat wave coming, it rained for 3 days, so I'm not sure if their definition of heat wave and mine is quite the same.
Yeah.
But apparently.
There we go. Yeah. So, crafty essentials first thing this morning.
Oh yeah, literally everything that you would class as an essential, from your tapes and glues to your plates, to card bases, to card. We've got so much on this morning, so much to show you. But my favourite, as always, is the glues on here, so
excellent.
I love a good glue.
So they're going to be, although we're calling it a masterclass, they're going to be sort of like mini schools, glue school, card school and all that sort of thing. So teach everybody how to use them, how to get the most out of them, and when to use each one, I suppose, isn't it?
Well, that's it, yeah, definitely.
Absolutely perfect, thank you. So let's have a look at the first deal we have got this morning, and we're going to start with our glues and adhesives. So this one, so you have got your red liner tape. This is your 3mm red liner tape collection, and it is a 3-pack. So you are going to get this today for £6.49 or $12.99. But if you are Platinum, that's going to drop down to £5.19 or $10.39. So Michelle, why red liner tape as opposed to a wet glue or another tape?
Your red liner tape, what I always tend to use red liner tape for is any kind of construction, because it is so strong. So definitely boxes, or where you've got some sort of movable element. If you've got that movable element, you want the strongest hold, the strongest stick that you can possibly get. And I think our red liner tape is literally, it's second to none. It's the one that I've always used, and you know that I love to make construction. I love to make big boxes, big storage, anything that, especially if you're using mount board as well, absolutely perfect for that, because the hold is just absolutely brilliant. But again, if you're making those sort of kinetic cards for kids and things, where they're going to be playing constantly with whatever movable element, your red liner tape again is going to be the best, because it's got a hold and a stick like nothing else.
Brilliant, brilliant. So this is the 3mm bundle. So we have got, there will be other ones on the show as well. So just have a look at that. I forgot to say good morning to everybody. I'm so sorry. I got so caught up with what we've got to hear. So we have got, it's obviously you can see it's Michelle and I. It's still Nicola and George in the gallery. They're saying good morning. And today we've got our Jake on the floor. So he's running around getting everything ready. And Grace is on the socials this morning, been chatting to her, so she's doing those. So we've got there, so we have also got Stephen Nichols says good morning everyone, and we've got your Ben, he's here. Ben says good morning everyone. Christine Mahoney says good morning everyone. Ruth says good morning, Ruth Manor. Thea says hoi hoi everyone from a sunny Netherlands. You see the sun's gone over there. Lillian Kwok says morning all. Hi Corrine and Michelle. And Sandra Peake says good morning from Buffalo, New York. Zoe Carver says morning everyone from me and hubby in West Sussex. Well, welcome to your hubby too, Zoe. And Stephen Nichols says, I love my Gemini too. Great to use. Looking forward to the extra bits to go with it. Well, this is what you are waiting for, Stephen. We've got everything, including plates as well, and we'll get to those in a little while. Now, Michelle was just saying why you need your red liner tape, and now she's going to show you how to use it.
I am, as daft as that sounds, you know, showing you how to use a glue. Obviously, I've gone over all the reasons that you need this red liner tape, but I've shown you this before, so we're going to do it again because it's just a really fun technique to use and to do. So I've got my 3 rolls of red liner tape. That was a tongue twister, wasn't it? You've got your 12mm, you've got your 6mm, and you've got your 3mm. Now, I use all of these because obviously, depending on what kind of project you're doing, your tabs are obviously always different sizes. If you're using acetate, this is always brilliant for your acetate, sticking it on there. And again, there's certain things that you're not going to use a wet glue on. Your finger lift tape, I know Craig uses that a lot. That's brilliant for things like mats and layers. I wouldn't recommend that for, again, if you're doing boxes, bags, things like that. Always go for your red liner tape. But this is one of my favourite techniques to do, so we're just going to do it. I'm going to show you, obviously, a different way that you can use this red liner tape. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to pop 3 different sizes of this onto my card. So that is my 12mm. We're going to put a strip of, when I can find the end.
It's handy, isn't it, that you get it in different widths as well?
Yes.
I like that. So,
yeah,
you know,
definitely.
there's one, you're not trying to thin it, you know, cut it down to a different widths or anything like that. You
That's
know,
it.
you're going to find the one that does the job.
Yeah, definitely, because I was sort of just saying, depending on what size tab you're using on what particular project. I mean, sometimes we've got like a 1/2 inch tab, which is going to be perfect for your 6mm. Sometimes you've got that inch tab where you're going to be able to use, sorry, I just got stuck to my finger. You're going to be using this rather than, you know, putting 2 layers of that on. So they've definitely all got their place. But this is by far one of the most fun things that I do. And it just shows you just, again, something else that you can do with the stuff that you've got in your stash, even down to your glues. So apparently, the best way for removing that backing tape on there is to have some kitchen roll with you, because it is, the static on that is, it's crazy. You sort of end up running around the kitchen, wafting your hand, trying to get all this red liner backing tape off you, and you look a little bit crazy.
Oh, do you know what? I find red liner backing tape in the most strange places.
Random,
you know.
yeah.
I find it in the kitchen and I think, why is it in the kitchen? My craft room is the furthest room from the kitchen, and then there's red liner backing in there.
Yeah, it does. It's a little bit like glitter, I find. You just, it goes into the most obscure places. Right, so I've just got 4 or 5 strips on there. When you are popping this on, always make sure you give it a nice good burnish over the top so it's all nice and stuck down. And then, so I've never done it. I normally end up doing the chicken dance. So apparently, you take it off, pop it on. I didn't have to waft it off. Is that really sad that I've just been so amazed by that? In fact, let's just do that one first, because I'm going to show you. No, let's do it one strip at a time, because I'll do lots of different techniques with it. So let's just pop some glitter on this top one. So even your coarse glitter, you're going to be able to use. Oh, I should have had a piece of card under there. Make it easier for me to lift it all up. So let's pop that on there. So even your coarse glitter you're going to be able to use, because all you need to do is you just need to give it a good pat down, sort of squishing it right into that red liner tape. These are always beautiful if you want to edge your card.
But look how straight the line is. You couldn't do that with a wet glue, could you?
You couldn't. No, absolutely not, which is why I love these. Do you know what? Especially if you're a beginner and you don't have loads of stuff in your stash, but you still want to make magnificent cards, just doing that round the edge of your card makes it look amazing.
You need your products to be multi-use, don't you?
You do. I think the more that you can get out of what particular item you've got in your stash, the more things you can do with it, the more we justify to ourselves that, you know, we've bought it and, you know, we need it. So, right, I've pulled another one off. I've got some silver embossing powder here. So let's pop that on the next one. So obviously you can heat emboss on this. It takes it wonderfully. So again, I'm just going to make sure it's nice and stuck to that glue, that line of glue. And then what I tend to do is, if I forgot to use my little, in fact I've got one next to you, so I'll show you. Sometimes if I forget to use my little talc bag.
Static bag, yeah.
Yeah, and you can see that I've got those edges. So I'll just come in with one of my brushes.
But you can do that when it's the tape, can't you? So much easier than you can if it's a wet glue.
Yes,
or an
absolutely.
ink or something. And I don't know, static bags on black card can dull it a little bit.
I think so.
Really
I think so, definitely. Because it's obviously it's got talc in there, hasn't it? It's got that powder that is obviously a little bit white. So yeah, when you put it on your black, it definitely does do that. So let's bring in our heat gun, and then we'll just heat this up. So again, I use the silver because it's going to stand out a little bit more. The only other one I've got is a clear one. But I think this particular technique.
Oh, you can see it going. Oh, there we go, chasing it now.
You can see it, there we go.
Yeah, look
this
at that.
technique, I think, is the sole reason for 99% of people turning into crafters.
Yeah.
Because watching this is just, it's mesmerising, isn't it?
It certainly is. Charlotte Everett says, backing from my red liner always gets stuck to my cats. There you go. Yeah, I can imagine that. I've seen Elsie with all sorts of stuck in her fur.
I've got to admit though, there's times that I've seen my dog chewing on something, and I've been like, spit that out, what is it? And it's a bit of red line backing. And I'm like, give me that before your dad sees. And then realise how sad I sound because I've just said to the dog, give me that before your dad sees. But you know, he is the dog dad. The dog, we all do it, I think, don't we? So what should we, in fact, let's take this one off. And let's bring in some sequins.
Oh, that's quite impressive.
Yeah, so
that's your 3mm as well, isn't it?
It is. So I'm going to pop these onto my 3mm. So I'm going to bring in my tweezers, and we just some of these.
Place them.
Yeah, some of these are just nice circles. Some of them are sequins. So obviously the sequin, it's got that dip on one side and it's got the flatter bit on the other side. So you're going to use that flatter bit and it's going to sit on beautifully. And it's going to stick. I mean, I've done this many times. I've done a nice little decorative element with a row of sequins, and I've never had any trouble because the stick is just next to none with this red liner tape.
Yeah.
And the fact, obviously, that you've got that lovely line to be able to follow makes it very easy to do.
Some people call it super sticky tape, don't they? I often call it super sticky, and it really is.
It really is, absolutely.
Is your stickiest.
Definitely.
Yeah, they're sticking absolutely. And I think the 3mm really works with that, with the sequins, because you're not then got adhesive either side to pick up all the bits, or
that's it. It's just covering it. I find the 3mm is absolutely the best. But then if I come in, let me just pop that to the side. So halfway down, you can see that they're stuck really well. Let's pop some chunky glitter on the rest. So you can see that you can even use it with your chunky glitter, because all you're going to do is just making sure that whatever's there is all stuck down nice and well. And you can see that you've got that chunky glitter.
It's so neat, isn't it? I think that's what is so surprising, is how neat it looks.
Yeah, it really does. You just don't think to use your red liner for this.
No.
But you absolutely should. So let's...
You see, you're using your kitchen roll to do that.
Yeah.
I usually go ferreting in the bin and get a piece of scrap card and put a piece of stick a piece of red liner, peel the backing off, and then all my backing attaches to the red liner on my scrap card. That tends to be how I do it, if I remember.
If you remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're not always that organised, are we?
Oh, look at that.
Oh, these blue ones are just absolutely gorgeous.
You're sneezing already. I can see you moving your nose already.
I've still got it on me from yesterday. I've showered and everything, and I'm still covered in glitter. I looked in the mirror this morning in the green room, and I was like, glitter on my face. And I do. I get that covered that I just go with it.
Yeah, you've got to, haven't you?
But look at that.
You did say, didn't you? Maybe she's sharing, oversharing, but Michelle did say she went to the loo and the toilet was covered in glitter.
I did. I stood up and there was glitter all over the seat, and I'm trying to clean it away, and because it's like gilding flakes, yeah, it was just going everywhere. Absolutely. Let me put that lid on before I blow that everywhere. Just move that to the side. So that is one of the best things, one of the most fun things I find to do with the that red liner, even though it is absolutely brilliant for everything box-wise, but just all those different things. So you've got glitter, you've got heat embossing, sequins, chunky glitter, you've got gilding flakes.
So if you rub the gilding, you know your burnishing tool for your gilding flakes,
yeah,
it doesn't budge it at all, does it?
No.
Not at all. Quick question for you before we move on to the next one. Sherry W says, can you use the red liner on vellum without show-through?
So, yes. The thing is with vellum, you do get different thicknesses. So some certain vellums, you're going to pop it on there and you're not going to see it through. And then you're going to get some, you can get some cheaper, well not cheaper, but thinner vellum that you're going to see it through. So it obviously it depends on what kind of vellum you've got in your stash, but the thicker stuff, you don't tend to see it through. The same as if you use our tape pens, the thicker stuff, you don't tend to see it through. But there's always ways around that. If you do want to glue something down, put another row of the tape over as an edge and add some sort of embellishment.
Good idea. I like so you're putting, so imagine using your fine is your 3mm, and use it on the top and the bottom, adhere it to the card, then peel off the top one and put glitter around the edges.
Yeah.
That's a really, really good idea. I like that. Brilliant, thank you. We've also got Julie Burrows here. Good morning, everyone. Glorious weather. Polly Newton-Bragg says, good morning, crafty friends. And Anne Cagle says, the red liner tape backing has a life of its own and clings to everything. Well, Michelle showed you that the kitchen roll takes the static out of it, but I also say, you know, put a piece, just a small piece on a scrap piece of card, take it off and use that sticky to capture the backing. Another good way to get it. So I think I've caught up on everyone that says good morning so far. Right, so we've looked at red liner. So it's got the obvious adhesives, you know, it's going to stick to all your cardstocks and everything like that. But, you know, Michelle has showed you that it's so much more versatile than just sticking your mats and layers together. It really, really is. I like it for ribbon because I think it holds it really well. Now, the next one we want to look at is your low tack tape. So we're going to use, we always sell it in a 3-pack. So this is going to give you so much low tack tape. It's going to last you for literally years. I mean, oh, so this has got 9 in it. Right, I thought it was 3. That is 3 packs of, really? 3 packs? 3 packs of 3. So you're actually getting 9 rolls of low tack tape for £9.98. £1.10p a roll. £1.11. Wow, that's amazing. So, you know, yours, or $13.90 if you're in the US. This would literally last you for years and years. Your platinum price for that is £7.98 or $11.12. Can you add anything on about low tack tape? You know, it's more than what it says on the tin, so to speak.
It is. I love our low tack tape. The fact that I call it low tack, high tack tape. If you were running it through, if you're holding your dies in place and you're running it through, we always say, let me see if I've got a roll next to me. How have I not got? It's on my thing. I don't have a roll next to me. Oh, when you were attaching it, have you got some?
Oh, I have, haven't I? I am so sorry. I'm bringing it over. I'm bringing it over. Yes, and I had 9 rolls under the counter. How have you not got any? I don't know.
No, there's none there. Right. So let me pop one of these out.
She just doesn't care. She's just opening it. She just does not care.
Just going for it. I love the fact that all of them are going to come on this lovely carrier as well. You don't have to be replacing your tape. You're not getting 3 rolls of tape and 1 carrier. You're getting 3 carriers. So you literally, you're going to have one in your craft room. You're going to have one in your kitchen. You're going to have one. Now, my hubby's got one in his little man tool area. I'll tell you what he uses this for. The last time I saw him using this, he was hanging a picture. And when he wanted to like sort of drill the little hole or whatever into the wall, he put some tape over it and then drilled, and it stopped all these dusty bits coming. So there's so many uses for it. You'll find, my husband finds so many uses for it. But when
I use it for parcel wrapping because it goes almost invisible but still holds quite well.
Yeah, definitely. This is what I use at Christmas. If I'm sending anyone a present, I use this low tack tape because, yeah, once you've put it on, it's not ugly like sellotape, is it?
No.
I think it's great. So literally, I don't have a die next to me, but I always find, so you've got it, this is your die, you've got it on there. That's the bit of card that you are wanting to keep. You don't want to get rid of it. So what I always suggest is when you're pulling it off your die, fold it right back on itself.
And roll.
And roll it that way. Absolutely flat back on itself. And then when you can see it's left no residue, but it's also not ripped anything. So we always sort of pull it up, and it always tends to, you know, it has the tendency, especially when it's been run through your machine, to become high tack. So as long as you fold it back on itself and pull it like that very carefully, you're not going to rip. So that's my little top tip for using this tape. I love it.
I think it's also really useful, and I think I did it yesterday when I was doing a demo on Hobby Maker, that if you cut you do a die cut but you want the bits to stay in, I was doing the jigsaw ones and you want them all to stay together, it's really good for holding on the back, isn't it?
Yes.
To keep all the bits in.
Yeah, of course.
Because sometimes you die cut but you still want the bits to stay.
To stay where they are, yeah.
Really useful.
Especially with those jigsaw dies, I do exactly the same.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Excellent. So if you want those £7.98 or $11.12 if you are platinum, absolutely amazing price. 9 rolls. I thought it was 3 rolls and I thought, oh, that's a good price, but 9 rolls, phenomenal price. Right, the next one we want to look at is our it says extra permanent tape pens, and they really are. Now this is the box that we send to our store, so it's like our wholesale box. So this is going to get you, it says on there, 12 tape pens. So you're going to get all 12. Now this is the solid tape pen. You can see it just there, solid tape pen. This is going to save you over 35%. So instead of being £3.99 each, which is going to be your £47, you're going to get them all today for £30 or $50. Now your platinum price is £24 or $40. These retail at £3.99. If you're platinum, you're going to get them at £2 each. That is an amazing deal, a really brilliant saving. Now, Michelle, I know a lot of people ask about the tape pens. How do I use them? How do I stop them from failing halfway through? Yes. What is the best technique with your tape pens?
Yeah, it's surprising how many people ask about this. I still am getting used to it because I'm really pants at remembering how to use them. But I've got my tape pen out. In fact, I noticed a couple of people yesterday said, how do I know when it's finished or I'm halfway through or whatever? So you're always going to start with the full roll at the beginning. So this is a new one. So that's it. So I think someone posted a picture. It was sort of half and half, and she was struggling to get it to go. So she wasn't sure if it was empty, if there was more in it or anything. When it's all finished, your back one is going to be full. And obviously, if it's not rolling anymore, you know that it's finished as well. Because straight from off, it's going to roll beautifully. And when you do it, you need to flick. It breaks that glue strip on there. That flick is important because if you don't do the flick, you've seen me do it on here, I get that string come off and then it gets clogged on here and it sometimes gets clogged under here. And then when you're halfway through and it's not rolling anymore or your tape will snap, mine have snapped sometimes, it's because I'm not doing that break and I've got clogged up basically. So you really have to remember, try to take it slow and then do your flick. It's going to break that glue properly and it's going to mean that you're going to be able to use the whole of your glue without worrying. I mean, unfortunately, because they're not replaceable, so if you get halfway through and you've not really sort of looked after it properly, I know it's only a glue tape pen, but you do definitely need to do that because I think we've all done it. We can see all that glue there and it just affects the use. So as long as you're rolling and flicking, it's going to work absolutely perfect.
I think that is the key. I learned quite early on with the Crafter's Companion tape pen, it's not one of those where you go zoom, 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 zoom. You go down and flick and down and flick. It's keeping it steady because you've got to give that back reel time to catch up with the front. If you go so fast, the back wheel can't turn fast enough, and then it makes the tape go from the front. It makes it slack, and then you can't do a proper flick. So I'm not saying you go slow, but you just got to go steady. And as Michelle said, that flick. And as long as you do that, you'll get to the end and you'll see that little silver bit at the end. You know when it's empty because the very end of the reel is a little bit of silver foil. If you see the silver foil, you've cracked it. You've got right to the end of all 22 metres. So I can't even do my 22 metres times 12, but it's a lot. It's a lot. It's about 400 and something. Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot of metres. No, I know, George, I'm disappointed. I know, I've let you all down. I'm really sorry. I've still borders, thank you. I'll keep that one forever. I could do it on paper and quickly. And so there we go. Michelle and I, here's a little insight. Michelle and I sat and watched 1% Club last night. I don't know if anybody else in the UK watches that. We did between us. I think we got every one between us. And
we did.
There wasn't one that we couldn't. And then the final one, the 1% came on and he put the question on and I answered it like that, didn't I?
Yeah, I'd not even literally read. There was 3 sentences. I'd not read to the end of the first sentence. There was a word missing in 3 of the sentences, wasn't there? And you had to figure out what this four-letter word was. I'd not even got to the end of the first sentence and Corrine's like, only, and I'm like, oh yeah. So not only is she amazing with numbers,
it just was there. I could see it. It was so much fun. So much fun. It was. But Michelle got loads.
I did get some, didn't I?
We got between us. Yeah, it was really good. We were quite impressed. 1%, duo. That's it. Unfortunately, they don't let you go on as a duo. It's single. So you know, as a team, we would have won 96,000 between us. Yeah. Yeah, I see. We're just still being drunk on the Prosecco this morning. You wouldn't have seen us at dusk. Right, so Sarah Brown says, good morning, friend. She says, sorry I'm a bit late. She was in her phone, and I was like, and then she said, no, I was on my phone. So sending you all hugs from Melbourne, Australia. Well, we forgive you, Sarah, we forgive you. Colleen says, good morning, Michelle and Corrine from Florida. And Patricia says, Patricia Powell says, good middle of the night. Oh, where are you, Patricia? Where is it? Still middle of the night. Oh, that's half a story. I need the rest of the story. I don't know if I've also got Pauline Newsom-Bragg, good morning, crafty friends. I don't know if I read that one out. Anyway, now, this is, the next one I'm going to show you is actually something that I myself have ordered within the last 10 days, I think. This is something I did because I saw it on such an amazing deal. This is your 3 bottles of your Collall all-purpose glue. I love this glue. It is an amazing, amazing glue. You'll see, as craft presenters, each of us use different glues. Now, each bottle is 100 ml, so you're going to get all 300 ml. You're effectively buying the 2 and getting your 3rd one for free. £7.98 or $15.90. But look at that, platinum price, £6.38 or $12.72. Just over £2.10 per bottle. That is amazing, amazing value. But Michelle, why all-purpose? Because I see you use all-purpose. It's one that I see you using quite a lot. Yeah, I use this all the time. But again, it's got a place because it's got a particular job, and it's got that particular job because of what it's made out of. So it's an alcohol-based glue. So it means that it's better for certain jobs than our other glue is. So again, obviously you've got your little warnings on there because it's alcohol-based. So what it means is it is perfect for all of your mats and layers, because when you pop it on, you've seen us do it. In fact, if you watch Sarah, she'll place her piece of paper down and she'll really give it a wiggle, so you can see that she's really able to wiggle that piece of card right into place until she's got it exactly where she wants it, and then it's going to stick down perfectly. So let me do it for you. Let me bring in another piece of card, just so you can see the wiggle. In fact, if you watched me on my craft along as well yesterday, I'd stuck a piece of card down
and then realised it was on upside down, and took it off and turned it round, stuck it back down. It was absolutely perfect. So again, just for no other reason, just the fact that you have that amount of time with this to be able to wiggle it perfectly into place is enough for me to absolutely love this. So I'm going to pop it down and I'm going to wiggle it. You can see, in fact, you can't see that at all. Let me bring in that white. Would make more sense, wouldn't it? Pop it down. Let me pop a bit more glue on because it's all gone nearly. So...
marks on the back, but it hasn't buckled it or cockled it at all, has it?
No, definitely not. So I've got look at how much time I've got to wiggle it into place, and then when I'm finally happy with where it is, I'm gonna leave it there. I've got a little bit of overspill. That's good. Obviously, I've got ink on my fingers, but that's good because actually you can see that it's rubbing away.
It's fair. I think that for me is one of the big benefits to it is you can rub off any overspill.
Yes.
It just rubs away completely, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I love the fact that so even if I pull this up now, I've still got that time. To, you know, I've put it on upside down, which I do a lot. I've got time to put a little bit more glue on, put it exactly where I want it to be. In fact, I haven't put no more glue on and it's stuck. So just for that fact, it's absolutely brilliant.
So when would you not use your all-purpose? Because I think it's all right you saying, oh, this is brilliant, but there are times when we recommend... We might do differently, but we would recommend officially to not use your all-purpose.
You're not going to use your all-purpose on anything that's got a coating, so your glitter card, your mirror card, your satin card, because it's alcohol-based. It's not going to be able to soak through that coating on top, which is where your other one that is water-based comes in. Because that one's water-based, it's going to sink through, but this doesn't. And also, it's going to take that coating away. So if I'm popping that onto some glitter card and I get a little bit that will seep out, if I wipe it away, it's going to take that colour away.
It does, because it's solvent-based, isn't it? It ruins the...
It does, yeah. And it's not getting through that coating. So brilliant for mats and layers, brilliant for your card, things like that. You know, you've seen me use it when I'm making boxes to glue my tabs together, because once it's dried, it's solid as a rock. This really allows your mats and layers.
It gives a hardness to it, doesn't it? An extra rigidity.
A
couple of points. So Thea says over here we can buy a litre of the Collall, very handy. Okay, imagine that. 10 bottles, wow, that's impressive. Anne Cagle says CC tape pens are my fave. I keep a number handy about the house for numerous purposes. Brilliant. Now, question. Kim Rice says, when matting and layering 12 by 12 scrapbook pages, would you use the tape pen or the all-purpose glue? I suppose it depends on the card, what you're matting and layering, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Depending on what you're matting and layering with. I mean, the tape pen, once you do have a second to sort of move it if you haven't really burnished it down. But if you're not quite sure or you're not that confident, I would use your glue because it gives you the time to get it into place.
And that extra rigidity is going to make your scrapbook page really
absolutely.
Good, isn't it? Yeah.
And the good thing about this is because it's solvent-based, you're not going to soak into your card and warp it like a water-based one can. Yeah. So you know that you can use this on all of those layers, even the papers. It's not going to warp them. So I would say this definitely. The tape pen, absolutely strong enough to do that, but if you need time to wiggle your things into place, then this glue for sure.
There is a train of thought. Certain people believe that your wet glues last longer, they adhere longer. I've never seen anything with our tape pens where months later it's come unstuck. I've never seen it, but there are some finger lift tapes and things where it will come, you know, after time it goes a bit yellow and crispy and comes undone. Doesn't happen with a wet glue. So if you are doing something where you think you want longevity and you want it to last, then yeah, definitely go for your wet glue as long as it's not a coated cardstock. So yeah, I think That's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, definitely.
We've also got Colleen Passardi here. Says, morning, Michelle and Corrine from Wesley Chapel in Florida. Linda Varquez says, good morning, Corrine and Michelle, watching from Minnesota. Happy Sunday. And Sue Cummings says, good morning, everyone. Just got ready for church. Not sure what I am going to wear for the day. It's starting out chilly. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's not been too warm yet, but I think it's going to pick up here. Now, the next thing I want to show you is, I'm going to preface it with something that we all like, buy one, get one free. We all love a buy one, get one free, don't we? Now, what you're going to buy here is you're going to buy your 5 sheets, your adhesive sheets. So these are foam sheets, so they're the full A4 size, and they're double-sided, so it's sticky on both sides. Now, you've got a 1mm sheet, some 2mm sheets, and some 1mm, 2mm, and 3mm sheets. I forgot what I'd said then. They're all the same size. You've got different quantities, so I think it is... I'm going to open this pack so that I can work it out. I'm a rebel. Let's have a look. Let's make sure we're telling you the right thing, because it doesn't say which is how many of each. So you've got 2 3mm, 2 2mm, and 1 1mm sheet. So look at that, all of that. If you're doing something where you want it to be raised and you don't want it to dip, then this is perfect for you. So like I say, 2mm, 3mm, and the 1mm there. And then you're also free going to get 880 foam pads. Wow, absolutely free. You're not going to be paying for those. $9.99 or $11.99, but your platinum price is going to go down to $7.99 or $9.59. Now, I think most of us know when we'd use our foam pads, the little foam pads, but when would we use the A4 foam sheets, Michelle?
I use those so much. I do go through so many foam sheets. It's unbelievable. If I've got a big sentiment, you know when I always say you need to make sure there's a foam pad in the middle so it doesn't sag, that is what I will use. So I will just cut a big square of that to make sure I've got no sagging in the middle. If you've got your nesting dies and you're using them to create, you know, those multi-levels, especially some of our big nesting dies or our ornate nesting dies, any kind of decorative ones, I will use those because I can just cut a big piece off. But what I mainly use them for is, do you remember those, our shadow alphabet that came out? So I use them for those. So it die cuts, obviously, the letters or the words out of the background, and you've got all those letters. Now, I am not about trying to get all my tiny little foam pads on the back of each letter to pop it back on to give it that little bit of a shadow. Do you remember those alphabets? It was a couple of years ago now, but I've still got those. So what I do is I will cut a strip of the thickest one, and I will put all my my letters. So if I'm spelling out Michelle, I'll put all the dies on there of Michelle. I will run it through, and then I have got perfect shape of the letters. So then when I've die cut my letters out in card, it's just going to pop straight onto the back, and it's going to fit perfectly.
Would you put your cardstock on the foam tape before you cut it, or do you tend to do it as a two-stage cutting process?
I tend to do it as a two-stage thing.
Right.
I suppose you could do it at the same time, because obviously you would peel the top off, put your card on, and then put your die on. You could cut it through that way. But especially if you're using the thickest, it doesn't squash it. Obviously make sure that you take your plastic shim out, because obviously you've got that foam going through. So you might want to have a little play with the plate combination. But rule of thumb, I use all my plates that I normally do, run the foam through with the dies. It doesn't squash it away, especially if you're using that thickest one. So it's brilliant for that if you've got a small, like those letters, things like that, and you want those raised, and you know, all those tiny little foam pads trying to put it on the back of letters.
I've seen so many people use them just as solid mats and layers under a shape if you're doing raising it, because like Michelle said, it's not going to dip. It's just going to give you that perfect level adhesive. So yeah, really, really good. So Anne Cagle says, I finally discovered I love the all-purpose glue. I'm really glad we all love that here. But I'm a disaster with glue. Show me some crazy glue and I'll show you some glued fingers. Yeah, but the great thing is it just rubs off. Yeah, usually. usually does. Now, the next thing I want to show you is our masket tape. So it's buy one, get one free, I think. Yeah, no, yes, it is. It is buy one. I'm looking at the wrong one. Yeah, buy one, get one free. Now, I've only got one roll here because a certain lady has already taken the other roll. Now, I love this. And I have to admit, I am still on my first roll. I am nowhere near going through even my first roll, and I've had it over a year so far. Really, really useful thing to have in your craft staff, and lots of people ask me how do you use it. So I'm hoping that Michelle is going to show you how to use this.
Another thing that I love, and I'm going to say that every single time, every single show for the rest of my life, because it's true. This masket tape, it really is really pretty amazing stuff. So I've just grabbed, well, Jake did, the lovely Jake, grabbed just a flower stamp. This one's got a die with it. Doesn't necessarily have to have a die with it. It can be some of your character stamps where you want to build up a huge Where's Wally type scene of characters, anything like that. So all we're going to do is we're going to stamp it out. So let me bring in a piece of card and let's just stamp this out. So there is, you know, a couple of different ways that you can use this. So let's just cut that down. And so I'm going to bring in my stamping platform because I love this. This is another essential for me, absolute essential. I don't know if we've got these in stock. These are a bit like the dotted tape pens, aren't they? As soon as they come in, they fly out. Right, so let's stamp this huge image on here. So it's quite a nice big one. Let's pop it to the side. And then, so I've just picked up another essential, always all your ink pads. I've just picked up, it's just because it's black. I mean, I'm not going to be colouring it in. If you are going to be colouring it in, the alcohol proof one is the one that you would go for. So let's just ink all this up. So straight away, before I even die cut anything out, if actually I've got a large stamp like this and I only want to partially stamp it, you're going to take some of your masking tape. I know I've inked it all up, I'm not going to do it per se. Say this was something other than that leaf and I didn't want it on there. You're just going to pop that on there.
Yeah, whilst you're inking.
Yeah, you're going to ink over the top. And then when you remove that and stamp it down, that's not going to stamp. So if there's a particular bit on there that you don't want to stamp, you can absolutely do that.
Do you know what I'm always doing? I forget to take the masket off and then stamp with the masket on. You're like, I don't know why I bother doing that.
That's funny. So let me just re-ink this. So that's one way that you can do it. If while you're stamping there's a particular bit that you don't want on there. So let's move that. Pop that to the side. So we want this other stamp. So we're going to use this stamp and we're going to use it to mask or not mask, as the case may be. Let's take that off, pop this on and then ink it up. So this is where you would, if it doesn't have a die, you would fussy cut it out. Mine has a die, so I'm going to run it through. So let's take that off there. Let's just pop this to the side. So this, literally, it's going to work with any of your stamps. It's going to work with your stencils as well as your masket tape. So again, if you've got a particular bit of stencil that you don't want to ink, you know, if you're just doing a partial piece of the stencil, you know, mask it off. So let's get this correct. So yeah, I'm definitely not Craig when it comes to the fussy cutting. So if it's got a die, it's all the better for me. In fact, let's run it through with this. Another essential. I think literally everything we sell, for me, is an essential. So it probably helps, actually, if I put my masking tape on there, doesn't it?
I was not going to say, I'm like, I really don't. I wasn't going to.
I had lost the plot a little bit. You can see it going through. What I would do is I would stamp on it.
Yeah.
But because my die is still perfectly in place, I know that the shape is going to come out absolutely fine. But yes, stamp on, put the masking tape onto your piece of card and then stamp onto that.
I was like, no, Michelle knows where she's going with this. I'm not gonna comment.
I sort of looked down and I thought, I'll put my masking tape on it. So yes, you will put your masking tape on. Some people don't use the piece of card behind it. I do. I just find it.
You need the card behind, otherwise it sticks to your cutting plates, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's pull that off. And again, oh look, you can see because I didn't pull that straight back on itself, it's pulled some of that paper away. If I'd have done it the way I did before, then I absolutely wouldn't have. So just like a sticker, you have to find that little bit on there that is going to peel up for you. There we go. So let's bring in this. So I'm going to use my rocker block because it's only this small stamp. So let's pop it the right way. So we're going to bring this in. So I've got the dies to die cut this out as well if I wanted to do that. But I'm just trying to figure out which way's up. Let's just decorate the rest of this card. So I've got that one here.
Yeah.
We're going to pop this over. And then we're going to ink up again. We can create a nice lovely border going down the side. And because it's going over there, when I pull this up,
you get that depth and dimension.
You really do. Look at that.
Look at that.
So let's pop it on one more time, just because I enjoy doing it more than anything. and the fact that it's in the perfect shape of the one that you're covering up and the one that you're stamping, it just means it does it perfectly. Just goes behind absolutely perfectly. Now, if I'd, die cut this one out as well, I could, cover that with the masking tape and these could all be coming out from behind it. I can build up a huge scene with that floral right in the middle and lots of the smaller ones behind. But what I also love is you can do sort of the second generation and third generation stamping. So again, that's going to give you more depth and dimension in your in your scene, whatever it is you're building, because you can see straight away that looks like it's so much further in the background. So if I do that again, I should be able to get one more off of this. And you'd be surprised actually how many times you can go in, because you're going to think there's absolutely no ink left on that. But you can see, so I've got like a third generation stamping off there. Let's see if I can get one more.
Oh, that's impressive.
But that one is absolutely perfect for, it's nearly a no line coloured in image.
Yeah, if you like to do no line colouring.
Yes. Then you can just see that, but once you've coloured that in, you're not going to be able to see it. So yeah, such a simple item, such a thing you think, oh, why do I need it? But then when you can see the sort of results that you get with it, it's why you absolutely need it.
So each roll is 10 metres long, so you're going to get 20 metres of it. It's only about the thickness of copier paper.
Yeah.
So I always thought of it, but that's just to allow it to work really well, because you can simply tear, die cut. Imagine you wanted to do clouds, those hill scenes with your inking techniques. It's absolutely perfect for that. You can make your clouds, you can make your hilltops, absolutely perfect. It is $7.99 or $9.99. But your platinum price today is £6.39 or $7.99. Now, quick question. Stephen Lee Guy says, those stamps you're using, are they new ones or old ones? He thought that maybe they're a new release. Can't remember seeing them.
Do you know what? I'll be honest with you, I have no idea. I went to Jake and I said, Could you get me just a flower stamp out?
We'll try and find out.
With a die in, but it's an edgeable, so it goes
edgeable.
on the edge. So I'm not really sure, but I was
We'll
like...
have a look and find out. There
I
we
was
go.
like, that's going to fit in my back pocket, that, because
nice,
how
isn't
I've missed these,
I know.
I've no idea.
Maybe they're new. Maybe they were just put in... Yeah, we've made
It had already been opened, so...
Had it? All right, it had already been opened.
Someone's used
just
it.
Completely ruined a launch that's happening later this month. No, that's okay then. We'll find out for you, Stephen. We'll get Jake. We'll get Jake on the job in a minute. So Sweet Imp says, hi all from across the globe. That's absolutely brilliant. So if you want that masking tape, get it while it's on a buy one, get one free. I promise you it will last you for so long. Now, did you see Michelle using her die cutting machine? This is the new Gemini 2. Now, we've only got stock left in the US. There will be more coming in the UK shortly. So I think you just keep an eye out for those. But these ones are coming to our US customers from the US warehouse. What does that mean? It means you're not impacted by our warehouse closure at the moment. These will be shipped perfectly. The Gemini 2 has all the power, the precision and the performance of our previous Gemini machine. It's just sleeker and more compact. It's 20% faster. Your A4 plates, or just over A4 plates, pass in 13 seconds. But what I love is it's so much quieter. I'm afraid they didn't make me 20% faster and 13 quieter as well. I'll have to put that one to my husband. The whole of the mouse there has an optical sensor. The whole 9-inch has got an optical sensor in there, so it doesn't matter which plates you're using in which orientation, it's going to work. It's got really clever slide feet on there. We can get a rotating turntable with it. This deal doesn't come with that, but there will be those. Your compartments are magnetised, so you can store all your bits in there. You've got your 3 US ports on here, and you can see there your media stand. We were just looking at a picture, weren't we, earlier, of somebody was showing how they had yesterday's show on, and they've got you on their tablet on top of their Gemini 2. Absolutely amazing, so you can read it. Now, the plates that come with this are upgraded. They're going to last even longer. But, you know, same performance as you would expect from a Gemini, just a little bit better. $329.99 or $263.99. Obviously, as I said, it's only available in the US at the moment, but we're getting more stock. It's on its way. It's on its way. I think it must be on a boat. I don't think it's on an airplane. It's on a boat, and it will be here very, very soon. But if you're in the US, snap it up now, because those will go too. Now, we're just going to have a quick Club Inspire VT. If you've been seeing all the Club Inspire prices all the way down here and you think, I want some of that, especially if you're getting something like the Gemini, because it will make a massive difference, here's what it's all about.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters' companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £1, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Here at Crafters TV, it couldn't be easier to get your hands on the latest crafty must-haves. Leave the hard work to us while you shop from the comforts of your own living room. Head to the Crafters Companion website to see our full crafty range, or hit the Shop the Day button to see all the new and exciting products featuring on Crafters TV. Once you've filled your cart, leave it to us to get your crafty goodies to you in super quick time, so you can get on with being creative. Crafter's Companion, making crafty shopping a breeze.
Tune in to Crafters TV every day to take a look at your crafty collection, make something unique, or try a new technique. Join the team for 7 days of creative tutorials from ink pad inspiration and sparkle pen magic to paper pad perfection and foil press techniques. We'll show you how to make the most out of your whole crafty collection. With a new show launching every day from the 5th to the 11th of June, there are 7 opportunities to craft your stash with us. So tune in at 2 p.m. in the UK, 9 a.m. Eastern Time and 6 a.m. Pacific Time. Get involved.
Introducing the Gemini 2. Our brand new electronic die cutting and embossing machine has all the power and precision of the original Gemini, but with updated functions and innovative new features. Faster and quieter than ever before, the Gemini 2 does all the hard work for you. Cut out the most intricate designs in seconds, and all at the touch of a button. Technology to apply higher pressure than many other machines offers perfectly crisp and clear results every time. The Gemini 2 has the power to take creative projects of all shapes and sizes in its stride. It will cut through a range of materials, from card and paper to cork, thin metal, leather, and multiple layers of fabric. So you can save time on your papercraft, sewing, and multimedia projects. A new and improved optical sensor runs the full length of its 9-inch platform, offering edge-to-edge precision with cutting plates of any size. Pause, rewind, and resume functions take the guesswork out of crafting. Smooth gliding feet make light work of moving and manoeuvring your Gemini 2. And a turntable offers 360 degrees of crafting freedom. Neat storage compartments hold craft tools so they're always at your fingertips right when you need them. A built-in media stand and 3 USB charging points invite you to craft along with your favourite tutorials and workshops on your tablet or phone. Easy to use and with everything you need to get started right out of the box, the Gemini 2 is for beginners and experienced makers alike. From scrapbooking and home decor to handmade cards, quilting and everything in between, bring your creativity to life with the Gemini 2.
Well, you know when messages come through and they're just, the timing is just absolutely perfect. I've got a message at 11:53, so 7 minutes ago, from Stephen Nicol. It says, the Gemini 2 is a lot quieter and the USB ports are very handy and the storage is good and the stand is even better to watch CTV and die cut and embossing at the same time. There you go. What more can we say? Should have just let Stephen say it all instead of putting that video in. Absolutely perfect. Yeah, we'll have Stephen on instead of putting the video on. Kim says beautiful stamp, and Sherry says she thinks it isn't a new one because of the packaging. I was thinking that, Kim. The packaging does look like an old. I was trying to find out what collection it is. Unfortunately, Jake's just off in the other unit getting something at the moment. So as soon as I find out what collection it's from, I'll let Stephen Lee Guy. We've got 2 Stephens, 2 PH Stephens on. We've got Stephen Lee Guy and Stephen Nicol. There we go. Both of them tonight, and both commenting this morning. Now, next thing you can see on the screen here, Neenah cardstock. This is a 3-pack, 16 sheets in each pack. You're going to get 48 sheets. You're going to be buying 2 packs, getting your 3rd pack for free. £9.98 or $12.98. But your platinum price, you've just seen, get yourself to platinum, £7.98 or $10.35. It's an absolute must. And Michelle is going to tell you why you want Neenah cardstock over just regular cardstock.
Neenah cardstock, absolutely perfect for your stamping and colouring. So if you've got our alcohol pens or if you've got our alcohol pencils, both perfect. And the reason is your Neenah cardstock, in fact, do I have a piece next to me? Bear with me. Yes, I do. So let me bring both of these in so you can see straight away which is the Neenah. This is our normal stamping card and this is the Neenah. And as soon as you touch both of them, you can feel the difference. This is so smooth. And I know I simplify it really down when I say this, but it's almost like a dinosaur tooth. When you're colouring with your alcohol pens or your pencils, you need a smaller tooth, so you want that baby dinosaur tooth. You don't need like mummy or daddy dinosaur tooth. So The Neenah cardstock has got that really small tooth on it, which means when you're colouring with either your pens, not going to suck up as much colour, which means you're going to use less colour, but it goes on smoother and it blends better because it is a smoother cardstock. You've got that smaller tooth. And the same goes with your pencils, especially for your pencils. You'll have noticed I've done it before. When you colour on your normal cardstock, you will see more of that. It's not texture per se, but you see where it's not filled in that tooth or those gaps as much. But again, so with your Neenah cardstock, you don't have that because the tooth is so small. You're using less pencil as well, but it also means that it's going to blend and it's going to lay down and it's going to colour better. So that is why, I mean, you know, we are artists in a way. We're crafters, we're artists. So, you know, you go to any Nicola Yao, for example, she uses this. She raves about it. It is the best thing ever because of those things that I have just said. So if it's good enough for a real artist, I think it's good enough for us, isn't it? But yeah, that is absolutely, it is just... It's quality, it is the quality, it's that smaller tooth, which means it's going to take your colouring mediums so much better.
It really does. It is absolutely fantastic. Just to let the Stephen that was asking know, the stamp and die is from the Statement Florals, but I've just had a look and I don't think it's available anymore. I mean, Michelle just asked Jake very quickly to find him a stamp, and that was the one he got. They're back from November 21, so yeah.
Oh, really?
One, yes. Yeah, a bit older. Okay, so you've got your Neenah, $7.99 and $7.98 or $10.38 for your 3 packs. But you might want some cardstock for construction, mats and layers, something a little bit bigger. Now, we often use our A4, but how about getting something a little bit bigger? And this is when you might want to get... Oh, let me move that because I'm just using that. I haven't used that for all your comments. Then, you know, this is what you might want to get. So what you're going to get is you're going to get your A3. You're going to get 25 sheets of the Snow White, which is the hint of gold. Now, I know it's got the film on, and I was trying not to open it. Now, that pearlescent is the gold. I'm hoping you can see, I can really see the gold hints just here. And then you've got the Snow White hint of silver. There we go. If not, we're going to have to open these and have a look. So you've got the hint of silver. Now, you're going to pay for those £25.98 or $37.98. And we're going to give you, for absolutely free, your fresh white. Now, fresh white, you're going to get 20 sheets in here because it's double-sided. With the hints of, you've got your pearlescent on one side and you've got the equivalent of your multi-purpose cardstock on the second side. So if you are just wanting plain cardstock in A3 size, then yeah, you can use the reverse. But with the fresh white, it has got the pearlescent on the front and the pearlescent, oh, look at that. Can you see that? On the back. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh, look, I've got some loose. Is that the gold one? Yes. There we go. There we are. Look at that. Can you see the gold tones coming out in there? I mean, absolutely gorgeous. It's the pearlescence. Is that the right pearlescence?
Yeah.
Is fantastic. And I love how you just got that hint of gold. But if you're maybe doing something with silver mats and layers. Oh, was that the silver?
I think so.
No, you got the other way around. That's the this is the silver. Poor Nicholas, she's trying to be really helpful. This is, can you see the difference? If I put them side by side, look at that. You can see the difference. Can you see? This one has got the silver hints, and this one has got like a gold hue to it, hasn't it? You can see a definite difference.
It's really, from where I'm stood, it's really prominent, is that gold and silver, yeah.
You can see the different colours there. Absolutely brilliant. So those are what you're going to pay for, 25 sheets of each, and you're going to get your fresh white for free. Double-sided, absolutely perfect. £20.78 or $30.38 if you are a Platinum member. And I can see Michelle has got some on her table. So which one have you got?
I've got the Snow White. So this is the, it's the colour on the front.
Is that the gold or silver?
So mine's just a Snow White. Oh, hint of silver. Oh, read it all. Look at that. Look how just doing that with it, you buy it and just do that with it for a few minutes a day. How happy will that make you? So I've just picked 2 pieces up. I just thought we'd pop a box together just to show you, even with this, even making a great big box, it is still really nice and sturdy and strong. So I'm not going to cut either piece down. I've got my big scoreboard and you can see it fits on there beautifully. So I'm going to turn it over to do my scores. I always find it easy to score on the non-pearlescent side, unless you've got the double-sided, and then you just have to go for it. So let's just do 2 inches all the way round. And again, what I love about my giant scoreboard that I've got here, the A3 one, is that it fits obviously perfectly. So you're not having to sort of score half the way down and move your card up. With the smaller ones, you have to do that, but with this one, obviously, you don't. So just 2 inches all the way round. Another essential that I'm using, this scoreboard, because this side, it says box lid. So we're going to score 2 inches all the way round. Pop that to the side. I'm going to flip it round, and I'm going to do it on this side, which says box base. So again, we're just going to do 2 inches all the way round. I love my giant scoreboard, and I must admit, I use the A3 so much. You just can make those larger card bases out of these without having to, I mean, it's not a problem if you have to put that join on, but if you don't have to, why wouldn't you? So 2 inches all the way round. Let's pop this to the side. Literally going to be using my essentials, which is my scissors. Again, another essential that you just cannot be without. Bring in my tool. Let's give those a good burnish. I always love making a box, just a nice simple box. It's something therapeutic about box making for me. A bit like colouring for some people. I'll make a box.
Your catalogues are quite often box focused, aren't they? I think I often do too, but yeah, quite often box focused.
I think it's just nice. I think for my craft alongs, I think because when we're doing shows, we tend to show lots and lots of cards and things like that. So I think when I've got that little bit of extra time, I like to show people different kinds of boxes. Because I think with boxes as well, we get a little bit stuck in a row and tend to do the same box all the time. So I think it's always nice to show lots of different boxes as well, because we get to show so many different card bases. So just trimming the little notch away. And it's a nice big box. These are perfect actually for Christmas presents. If you've got that jumper that's annoying to, or that, in my daughter's case, it's always some weird item of clothing that never quite folds up properly for me to wrap nice and neatly, so I end up just making it into a ball. So I'm just getting my glue, another essential, my tacky glue, because it's coated. That's what I'm going to use. I'm going to use my tacky glue. So let me just, I've got a little bit of glue over the top. Don't forget to close your glues when you're done with them. Get rid of that sort of skin that seals over the top. There we go. So the reason that you're going to use the tacky glue on the coated cardstock is because it's the water-based glue. And it's going to soak through that coating on the top, which allows it to stick perfectly. So let's bring this in. Another essential, some sort of peg.
Yeah. I have the sewing ones.
Yeah.
I love the sewing ones. I just clicked onto my craft bag.
Yeah, Lily was saying yesterday use the sewing ones.
Yeah, always. Just bought a big bag of them.
I think at home I've got some pegs from the Violet Studios.
Yes.
Those are always good to use as well. So let's do the same with this one. And again, always put that notch in. It just allows you to make a nice, clean...
It does, because it means you can drop it down a little bit below the right angle, doesn't it? And
yeah, it does.
everyone's loving this. Sue Cummings says, Michelle, awesome. Right now I can think of so many uses. I'm going to craft this afternoon. Sent that a few minutes ago, so I'm not sure. I think that might have been the masking tape. Absolutely. Oops, I did it. And then Colleen says, thank you, Michelle, for showing us some tips about the glue and also the masking tape. Well, maybe it'll make you consider buying a glue that you've perhaps not, you know, an adhesive that you've not previously considered using.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, have you ever used the masking tape? Pick some up quick while it's on a buy one, get one free, and then you'll be able to do what Michelle's been doing too. There we are. You got enough paper clips?
Well, that box should have dried enough now that I can nick a couple off there.
Century Pearl is 310. Yes, they're saying in our ears. What's the GSM for Century Pearl? Century Pearl's all 310. Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. Oh, there, so just saw that, Diane. Yeah, 70 sheets. Great. What's the weight again? 310 GSM. 310. There we go. It certainly will be construction. Lorraine 52 says, love this A3 card. Perfect for my all-in-one box for some of my own craft kits. There we go. Sherry says, I also enjoy making boxes. I especially love to make lighted or lantern type boxes. I was supposed to give you some lights yesterday.
Yes, yeah.
I totally forgot. I am so sorry. Just reminded me, you know, when you suddenly remember, but it's far too late now, isn't it? But yeah, we're going to, I can't even remember what, oh, it was to go inside your, oh, I forgot. We're that busy, that busy. I ran out, didn't I?
You did.
To the next one.
You
there
did.
There we go. Loads of lovely comments coming through. I think everybody's finding it really useful. It's sort of, people find it quite inspiring to, you know, to remember different ways to do things. And there you go. Look at that.
I was trying to put the box base over the lid. I got there, but you can see you've got a huge box. So that box is 12.5 by just under 8. So just using the A3 by cutting it, not even cutting anything off of it. I love the fact that you get such a huge box, a nice ribbon over there. Beautiful.
Yeah, few mats and layers. Oh, Nicola says a giant chocolate bar. That is an impressive chocolate bar. That's one of the ones you can only find at Christmas, isn't it? That costs £10 for a bar of chocolate. Oh, or lots of small little ones. Are you dropping a hint, Nicola? Have we got to go out in the break and get us some chocolate? There we go. I mean, how expensive are selection boxes at Christmas? Yeah. I think selection boxes are the biggest rip-off. You pay £5 for chocolate that you could buy separately, individually, for like I don't know, £2 odd. So make your own selection boxes. Yeah, buy
that's big enough.
And split it up and buy your own. Make your own. Much better, much better. So if you want your 70 sheets in total, 2 packs of 25 and a pack of 20 for free, your platinum price is £20.78 or $30.38. Now, another essential is your card bases. And these were only launched just over a week ago. So we thought we would bring these in because if you really need so many essential bits in your crafty stash, and these are definitely them. So what we're giving you here, and I've got a pack here, is your card base. Now that just looks like a regular piece of card, and I'm going to show you that it's not. And you're going to get your templates, and you're going to get your matching envelopes too. So what you're going to be doing here is this is your tri-fold shutter, and then you can see on there, come on, where am I, Corrine? There, I'm trying to do it backwards. There we go, we've got our card base. Would that go that way round? That looks better that way round, doesn't it? There we go, there we are. Doing it upside down and back to front and everything else. So absolutely perfect. And the stencils are going to allow you to do the mats and layers. But I was just going to show you one of the card bases. So when the card base comes, because you can't see it on the board, all of the cut lines, look, are already in there. There we go, you've got your cut lines in there, and all of your score lines too. And I've made quite a lot of these, and I was saying just yesterday, I've never folded one and it's not been perfect. You know, if you sometimes you do on the scoreboard and you don't press right up to that buffer at the edge, you can sometimes sort of run not quite true. These all fold absolutely perfectly. So you're going to get 24 of your tri-fold shutter card bases with the stencils, with your 24 envelopes as well. I'm just going to show you, look. So when this folds up, just like, come on, fold, Corrine, there we go, folds up, it fits perfectly in the envelope. So every pack, the envelopes are different because they are the right size for that particular card base. So that is really, really useful. So you've got that there. Then we've got our double stepper. So we've got that one. And again, you've got your board here. So you can see the card base. You're going to get your 2 stencils. And this one here, I know I always say it, but this oval will actually fit on lots of the different card bases. So it's really, really useful to have. Then you're going to get your stepped rocker, which I think is lovely on there, and the stencils and the envelopes. So the envelopes are perfect to fit that one in. 24 of those. 24 of your step card. So I just love these. I'm going to show you some samples in a minute of these. And look at all of the mats and layers on these stencils. These are going to be able to be used for lots of things. You've then got your, I have to remember what this one is. It is the double diamond fan fold. It's just what, you know, you remember that. That's one of those names that you learn at primary school, isn't it? There we go, your double diamond fan fold, still can't remember. All your scoring's done. Okay, so maybe you can make one of those, but can you get all of those mats and layers right? Yes, you can, because you've now got the stencil. And this one is, the stencil is invaluable. Cascading zigzag card. Absolutely brilliant. So you need 2 bases for that, and you've got the score lines and the cut lines in there. And then, wow, look at all of those mats and layers. Absolutely perfect. And again, the envelope is right. Now, I love this one. So this one was on the first one I showed you on the tri-fold shutter, and that's been made a lovely baby card. Now, the stencils allow you to do your mats and layers like this. But that same stencil will also allow you to do the mats and layers like that. Let me move that out of the way so you can see. Sorry, that was right in the way. Can you see? You can have squares and little squares, or you can have rectangles. It's entirely up to you. And that one stencil gives you all of those options. So I think that is absolutely brilliant. You've so much choice. And then we've got our side stepper, double side stepper, not just a regular side stepper, stepped rocker, your double diamond fan fold. See, I remembered there, double diamond fan fold. This one is your stepper card. I think that's the right word. And then I couldn't find a sample, and there was a sample. They've obviously been moved somewhere else. Again, you've got your cascading zigzag. Now you're good, so that gives you 6 lots of 24 card bases, 144 card bases, 144 envelopes, and 12 of your stencils. That is a massive crafty stash. You wait till it arrives. You're going to get this times 6. I did this and nobody's taken it off. I marked my stencils 1 and 2 so that you know which is your first layer and which is the second layer. You can see, but it just means you don't have to think about it. I marked them 1 and 2 when we launched those. And the price today, £50 or $70, but your platinum price goes all the way down to £40 or $56. So you're paying just over £6 per set for 24 card bases, 24 envelopes, and all of your stencils. Michelle, which shape would you like to show us?
I'm going to use the double stepper.
The double stepper?
I am, but I was wondering if I could borrow your stencils for it. Do you have some there? I know.
Oh, let me have a look. Let me have a look. I've got them here. I've got them
We're
here.
back to me being only half organised. I've got everything else, just not the stencils.
With this one. Yep. I'm coming over. There we go. Oh, this is the one with the oval on.
Yes.
Somebody else has written 1 and 2. See, following my ideas, taking my ideas.
It is. There's quite a few things. So when we've got some embossing folders with like 3 or 4 layered stencils on, I've numbered those as well, so I know which one goes, you know, in which order. It just makes life so much easier for you. So let me just bring this in. So you can straight away, you can see you've got your matte layer template number 1 and your matte layer template number 2. So if I lay, let me bring that one in. So if I lay it over, you can see it creates a beautiful, perfect matte layer for you. So I've already got mine drawn out on there, but I'll just show you. You're just gonna pop it over. Let's just do it. Let's draw through it just so you can see how easy it is to do. Just looking for my pencil. Let me just bear with me. Oh, I'll use my, yeah. That's all right. I'll use my pen. It doesn't really matter. Normally I use a pencil. I suppose it doesn't really matter. But you literally, all you're going to do is you're just going to pop it on there and you're going to draw through it. It couldn't be easier, really, if you tried. Let's just pop. So you're just following it. Do you know what? I really enjoy doing this. This is another thing that I find quite mindful. If you do journaling, things like that, or if you're doing like your sandtangling and you want some of your basic shapes to start with to then go on and sandtangle on or journal on, these stencils are absolutely brilliant for that. I've seen, I don't know what, TikTok at the minute, I've seen lots of videos on there where people have got stencils, they're drawing their sort of base shapes and then they're coming in with their pens and they're colouring, you know, whatever's aquas, and they're doing all sorts of amazing stuff in journals. I don't journal, but I've, for some reason, you know, Facebook's been throwing all these up at me. But actually then seeing these stencils now, you know, I've seen so many people using them to go in and do that. So you've got these as well for that. So again, back to that, it does more than one thing for you. So if you are journaling, things like that, absolutely perfect. So we've got those drawn on there. I'll turn mine back over to that one. And then you're just going to cut them out. You're either going to cut it, I don't know, I think we all cut a little bit different. Some of us cut outside the line and some of us cut just inside the line. But just remember, whichever way you do it for your mat, try and do it for your layer, just so they're all matching perfectly. And again, even though I've got that little bit of ink that you can still see, you're going to turn it over, you'll use that side. Obviously, I'm not going to. So if you've missed that little bit of ink, doesn't really matter. So this is the one that I always find a little bit more difficult. So having to freehand or fussy cut a circle or an oval, for me, I really struggle with. So I go really, really slow. I try to turn the card, which is what you're supposed to do, not your scissors, but I just have to take this so slow.
Silly question. Do you think that's because you're left-handed but you're still cutting in the same direction as somebody who's right-handed?
I think so.
Because if I was doing it, I would be going in that direction counterclockwise.
Yeah.
You're left-handed and you're still going counterclockwise.
I'm a very strange left-handed person.
So maybe that's
why.
Because you cut straight really quickly and really accurately. Far quicker than I do on straight and far more accurately. But, yeah, you're going the other way. Yeah,
so I am left-handed. I do everything with my left hand. Whereas, so, you know, people who are left-handed, they eat...
ambidextrous.
Yes, the fork in their other hand. I don't. Everything's done with my left hand. So, whereas left-handed people normally eat with a fork in the right hand, things like that. Because I think right-handed people use their left hand.
My husband eats left-handed, plays cricket and tennis, golf and everything left-handed, but right-handed.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Yeah,
I think that was
a bit strange.
Beaten out of him when he was at school, weren't allowed to write right-handed, left-handed.
Yeah, got a lot of that back then, didn't you? And apparently left-handed people are more intelligent, and
apparently it helps for your brain to switch.
Yeah, definitely. I've actually cut that really, really well. Look at that.
Perfect. It's because we were talking to you and you weren't thinking about it.
Yes, weren't thinking about it. But I'll tell you what I'd do. If I've cut it out and I know it's gone a little bit wonky and I know that I'm not going to be able to go in and trim it up, you know, I think if it's gone past that, and what I will tend to do then is I will give mine that distressed look.
You could use your edge crimpler for that.
Could use your edge crimpler for it, absolutely. But if you find that you do struggle, but you still want that oval or you still want that circle cut out, especially when we've got these kind of stencils, or you've got that, you've got the teapot one from, you know, our Alice in Wonderland box, and you can't do it. You know, it just looks a bit of a mess. Distress all your edges. It takes the eye away from it having to be perfect because you've got that distress. So that is, you know, sort of one of the things that I like to do if I've sort of struggled. But I think the next time that I need to cut a circle, I'll just give you a call, Corrine. You can chat to me while I'm doing it.
Yeah, that's it.
So you're going to cut all your bits out, and you can see that this is my card base. I've got all those where it needs to be cut are already cut for me, and I've got all those score lines again that are already done for me. So I know that all I'm needing to do is just fold this. So I know that one folds up straight away, and I know that those two fold down. So you're just going to gently tease all these, you know, a little bit like when we've got those word cut out pop outs, things like that, and I take my time while I'm folding it. That's all you're going to do with this. You're going to do exactly the same. Take your time while you're folding all of these, because you will find that obviously once you've got a couple in place, the rest are going to
I launched these with Ben and he
fold
couldn't get over it. He said
perfectly.
every time he looked down and then looked back up at the screen, the card was folded.
Yeah.
They were so quick and easy to fold, aren't they?
They really are. And so sometimes when I'm making these at home, and I've done that cut, sometimes when you try to fold that, that catches a little bit on there,
Yeah.
just that millimetre or less that's just that little bit out, can be so annoying. But look how easy that was to go together each and every time with these. Sometimes you wanting to put that quick card together and you wanting it still to be fancy. You know, we always joke about the person who comes and says, can I have a card today?
Yeah.
With these,
I'm going to a party in half an hour.
yes. yeah. So with these, you're still getting amazing, amazing results with these card bases. So all we're going to do now is I've cut all my mats and layers out, which you get with those stencils. And I've used that beautiful Mediterranean paper pad because it's beautiful.
And yeah,
blue.
that linen cardstock is free with your weekend wonder today. So yeah, absolutely perfect.
Of course. So all we're going to do now, we're just going to pop these mats and layers together. Bung it on that card, literally bung it on that card. It felt like an appropriate word because we've literally, it's one of those cards, because of the bases, you were putting them together so quick.
You artistically place it onto the card.
That's it.
Nicola likes that one more.
It just sounds so much better than just bung it on there.
Kim Rice says, slow and steady wins the race, Michelle. Julie Burrow says, I am left-handed, used to hold fork in right, but taught to use in left. There you go. So you just work. I think it's habit, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Lillian Kwok said, left-handed people are supposed to be creative, which Michelle definitely is. So there you go. Got that. I've got a couple of other questions, but I'm going to come to those. You are smart, Nicola. Nicola says, I'm left-handed, but I'm definitely not smart. You are. You keep us on the right track, so you've definitely got something there. It's not all George. George helps. George helps. He is really helpful. There you go. Is that your tagline? I am helpful. I am helpful, he says. He's put
I
on
am
his
helpful.
CV. I am helpful. Can't do anything else. He is helpful. Bless. Oh dear.
So just look at that. How perfect
Yeah.
it all lines up.
You don't have to worry, do you? You don't have to
No.
worry about the mats and layers not fitting. They're all just perfect.
Definitely not. I love these. I've got these at home because, again, you know, as much as, I mean, I love to do all my different sort of shapes and styles of card bases, but again, because sometimes you just want to sit and sort of craft away, create something without having to think about all those cut lines and the mats and layers and things, and these are wonderful for that. It just allows you to just craft away with no thought, well, not no thought, but, you know, no stress about everything. You can just really enjoy the process with these. So just pop that last one on there. And then, so I've already got one cut out, but again, if I pop that on there, that lovely distress edge looks really nice. So again, you could use either or, it would be entirely up to you. So I must admit, normally when I'm at home and I have to cut a circle or an oval like this, I shout Ben, and he comes and does it for me.
Do you know, this is working out for the card plus the envelope at 28 pence per card.
Wow.
That is phenomenal value, isn't it? For each card base. You're getting 144 card bases, 144 envelopes, £40 or $56, which is just really, really phenomenal value.
That is amazing. But do you know what these are absolutely brilliant for? If you do craft fairs and stalls, markets, things like that, you can take all these with you, and then when someone comes up and says, actually, I like that card base, but I like those papers, you can take their order, they can finish going around the craft fair, they can come back and you have personalised that card for them very quickly there and then, because you can do that with these. So, and again, so for 28p for that card base, and how much are you going to charge for that finished card?
Exactly.
Especially if you say, you know, I can do that for you now, but this is the cost. People are going to be like, oh my God, you can make it for me now. One, how amazing for you. Two, yes, I will pay you for that. And it makes your stall, what you do, stand out from everyone else's. So look, while I was chatting away, there we go. Look how gorgeous that is.
Chocolate box bow on there. Love that one. There
it's lovely, isn't it?
Gorgeous. Absolutely. Demo says George. Might be the only card she's made apart from a box. Absolutely beautiful, Michelle. Thank you so much. And just shows you how perfect those card bases are. Right, now I've got a couple of questions. Paula says, can you please give the dimensions of the card, please, I think. Can you give the card passes? I think she means, card bases. I think that might be. Because I was working out A4. I've just done a really nice little thing, and I don't think that's what she needed. Okay, I'll forget that one. The card bases, we haven't got them all written down. We'll have to work them out. But I think I'm just going to show these on here then again, so you can see. So you can see the card bases on there. So they're all roughly. They're all starting from a very similar sized piece of card. It's less than A4, but they all fall down. So it all depends which dimensions you're going to have. But you don't need to worry, because the envelopes are provided too. So it's not like you need to go looking for your envelopes as well. So I'll just show you.
What I've just done, it ends up being a 5x7.
Ah, right, 5x7. I think they're probably going around that for the 5x7 or the 6x6 roughly, because if you look at that, that's going to be roughly into your 6x6 card base is the rocker. Then this one is the step card. Again, it folds down. Fits like that, and it folds down the envelope to go just like that. That's what the size of the envelope is, so it's perfect. I haven't got a ruler over here, sorry. Same height, they're all roughly the same height. That's your double diamond fan fold, and you can see on there.
I think so they all roughly look like a 5x7.
Yeah, they do. I think that's sort of the 5x7 or the 6x6. Is going to be your sizes on there. So you can see roughly. Sorry, I really don't have all those measurements, and it would take a good few minutes to work those out. And then, where was the other question? I'm not quite sure. Colleen says, what measurements would you score to make a box for the 8x5 by 11 paper and the 12 by 12 size paper for us here in the US for our paper sizes here. So yes, you can use your 8 by 5, but 8.5 by 11 or your 12 by 12s to make your boxes. It just depends what size box you want, and it depends on how deep you want. So, you know, either of those papers, you can just score an inch from one side, an inch and a half, 2 inches. It's entirely up to you. So I'm not quite sure what your question is, Colleen. I'm sorry. You can either trim it or just put in however deep you want it to be. What would you say?
I would have said exactly what you said.
Yeah, yeah.
The thing is that I'm not sure what the US measurements are equivalent to ours.
I know they're 8.5 by 11 as opposed to 8 1/4 by 11 3/4.
Yeah, so that little bit.
Theirs is narrow, get it the right way around, a bit wider, 1/4 of an inch wider, but a little bit shorter, you see. And then they use 12 by 12s quite a lot. So I was doing what I worked out just a few minutes ago. I don't know if our George can show us this, because this is another question we get asked quite a lot. What are the measurements for A4 and A3? And I just wrote that down. So A4 is 11 3/4 by 8 1/4, and A3 is obviously double that. So your 11 3/4 stays the same, but your 8 1/4 doubles to 16 1/2. Obviously, those are in inches. So if you are, you can let you do a quick screenshot of anybody that needs that. So that is your measurements for your A3. I just quickly wrote that down whilst I was reading the questions, and Michelle was doing that. Lovely, lovely card, says lots of people. Charlotte Everett, Adriana, and also Colleen says beautiful card. Stephen says, the mats and layers on the diamond card, where does the half diamond shape go? As I've got 2 half diamonds, wondering where they go. They go on the fold. Let me see. There we go. Is this the one you're looking for? There we go. If I show you that, Stephen, you can see, is it this one you're looking at? They tuck in just back there. Can you see? Tuck in just there. Once you've actually, if you score it all, then you should be able to find where most of them go. And then you've got, obviously, your small little triangles, you only need 2 because you just rotate them round to fit. But those half diamonds, I think that's the one you mean, just go on there. But I'll just show you that so that you can quickly grab a screenshot if you need to of where all of those mats and layers go. I hope that's there. And then Colin says, thank you for answering the best way you could, appreciate it. No, we'll always be truthful. We won't try and fudge the answer. If we don't know, we'll ask what we think is, but I'd rather you came back and gave us a bit more information if we haven't answered your question properly. Okay, right, we're going to go. There's been lots and lots of information being given to you today, but that's what today's masterclass is all about. So while you sort of digest that and then top up on all the bits that we've shown you that you need, we're going to give you a little bit of an insight into Crafters TV.
Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products with live tutorials and demonstrations. Join our family of craft experts where fun happens every day.
Are we in trouble or are we all right?
Yeah.
Should be coming in. Should be coming.
What does she do?
Exactly how he looks.
This is awesome. This is awesome.
Get creative and craft along. With our amazing deals, your next craft project is just a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week, or you can watch us on Catch Up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook, or our YouTube channels. You can chat to us, craft along, and meet new friends by joining our online crafting community.
And I watch you every day, and it's just what really gets you through when you're really at rock bottom.
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. Crafters TV, create every day.
Here at Crafters TV, it couldn't be easier to get your hands on the latest crafty must-haves. Leave the hard work to us while you shop from the comforts of your own living room. Head to the Crafters Companion website to see our full crafty range, or hit the Shop the Day button to see all the new and exciting products featuring on Crafters TV. Once you've filled your cart, leave it to us to get your crafty goodies to you in super quick time, so you can get on with being creative. Crafter's Companion, making crafty shopping a breeze.
Hello crafters, we've got some really exciting news in the works here at Crafter's Companion. So I've dug out my hard hat and I've popped down to our UK warehouse to give you the lowdown. Now we do listen to you guys and we know that delivery times have been an issue for our crafty community, so we're doing something about it. The team is getting ready to set up a new and improved state-of-the-art system right here in our global distribution hub. This new picking and packing facility means we'll be able to process orders and ship them to you faster and more efficiently than ever before. This means less time waiting for parcels to arrive and more time getting stuck into your next creative project. While we get this new world-class service up and running, there'll be a few temporary changes. So here's what you need to know. Our UK warehouse will shut down for a week while the team sets up the new system. Don't worry, you can continue to shop as normal on the Crafter's Companion website. You'll just wait a little longer for your orders to arrive. US crafters, listen up. We'll be able to send you guys some orders from our warehouse in California. These will be delivered as normal, so look out for this label on the site. If you're waiting for your parcel to arrive, don't worry, we'll keep you crafting. Join the Crafters TV team every day to find out how to make the most of your craft collection. With a different theme and tutorials every day, craft your stash with us to find fresh, creative inspiration in your paper pads, inks, and more. Right, that's enough from me now. I'm going to leave the guys here to get cracking. If you need any more info, head over to the Crafter's Companion website and don't forget to tune in to Crafters TV. I'll see you there.
And it won't be long and then the warehouse will be back open and operating even faster than before. And it's really exciting. We've got some amazing shows next week just to sort of help you to craft your stash as well, to use up all those bits whilst you're waiting for all your new orders to arrive from the warehouse when it reopens. Right, the next thing I want to show you are our insert pads. Now you're going to get 96 sheets in total. So you're going to get, so that is a buy one get one free. You're going to get 48 of your 5x7s and 48 of your 4x6, $14.99 or $16.95 if you're in the US. Your platinum price is $11.99 or $13.56. Now, these, we call them insert pads, but they are not just insert pads, they are insert pads and outserts too. And I think our Michelle is ready to show you how you can use them. And she'll give you a quick, have you got a flick through? So we've got papers and vellums and all sorts, and she'll show you exactly what each one is. So there we go. Over to you, Michelle.
So I'm just going to quickly cut down just a normal 5x7 base because these bigger ones are 5x7. So just going to quickly do that because I want to show you what I do with these inserts. So let me just 5x7, so that's a 10. So I was just going to tell you what I do, but I thought actually let me just show you because it's always so much nicer to be shown than to have to try and sort of imagine what I'm talking about, especially when I try to explain something. You're like, not really sure what you're talking about. So just basically 5x7 card. Obviously this is going to go in just as a beautiful insert because you've got that lovely fold there. But what I'm going to do is we're going to trim that in half. Just going to trim that in half. I'm going to cut that right on that score line. So this, I'm not going to use this bit. You're not going to get rid of this bit. You're going to use that on inserts like on that light box that I made yesterday. So this is going to look absolutely beautiful in there. But actually, just to add a bit of interest, I'm going to bring in one of my circle nesting dies. You can use your rectangle ones if you want. It's entirely up to you. I'm going to bring that in and I'm going to tape it down so it doesn't move.
With your low tack, with your low tack tape?
Yeah, low tack tape. Absolutely, just lining that up in the middle. And then I'm going to get another piece of card, any colour card. So depending on what kind of card you've made, what colours you've used on the front, you can tie this in with that. I'm going to bring in my smaller one, pop that in the middle, there it is, just there. And then I'm just going to run that through.
This is why it's good having your large plates, isn't it? Because you can get so much through.
Yes,
in
absolutely.
One pass. And 20% faster and so much quieter as well.
Yeah, 13 seconds now, isn't it?
Yeah.
I love this machine. It's just very pretty.
Yeah.
I love the pink. The pink, oh, look.
I did the pink corporate pink yesterday and you've done the corporate pink today.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, the pink for yeah.
In our clothes, yeah. Right.
Raspberry, our Nicola's telling us.
So whenever I put an insert in, I've got to admit, I tape from the top. I think it just looks very pretty. And again, we're all that little bit different. So let's just line this up.
With your tape runner?
Yeah, so using my tape runner that we've had on the show today. I'm going to line that up there. I just like the way that it's sort of free there. So I've got that lovely circle cut out, and what I'm going to do with this is we're going to pop that in, and I'm just going to, I mean, if our foam pads have all got different thicknesses.
Yes.
You've got those foam sheets.
Yeah.
One of those is a 1 mil foam sheet.
Would you just do it on the smallest one that you can find?
Yeah, and then I'm going to pop that in the middle. Obviously, before you put a foam pad on it, you're going to write your sentiment on there. Yeah. And then, do I have, oh, it's Tenta. And then what you're going to do is, let's run this back through really quickly. Once you have wrote your sentiment on there, or if you're not putting your sentiment on there and you just want this to look really pretty inside your card, so just using my circle nesting dies, you can use your rectangle ones if you wanted to. I just think the circle one fits beautifully in those 4 foiled corners. So let's just take this out. I've wrote my little sentiment on there. So what you can now do is add the vellum over the top, because you're still going to see your sentiment through.
Yeah.
Still going to look pretty. You can't see my glue through there at all.
You can't, not at all.
So again, just a little bit on the top, because I just like to have that flap on the top. And that's how I like to use my sentiments. So when you open it up, you've got your, not my sentiments, my inserts, you've got your little sentiment there, if you've stamped anything. And I think it's just a little bit of fun.
And that foiling around the edge looks really gorgeous, doesn't it? Really,
frames
really
it beautifully.
Absolutely perfect. We've got a lovely message from Renee. She says, I never get up early enough to catch this show live, but today I've been at the hospital all night with my husband. I'm taking a break from TV reruns and chair sleeping to join you. Hello from Georgia. Well, Renee, you were saying, is it Renee? Renee. It's Renee. It's Renee. It's Renee, yes. I hope hubby is on the mend, and we're sending you lots of love and hoping that everything is going in the right direction for you. And yes, and it's lovely for you to have you join us, and we're really, really, really pleased to have you here. Christina Clark says, do the 12 by 12 plates fit the G2? Unfortunately not, no. Because it's still the same size as your original Gemini. Sorry, I quickly answered that one, I know. But yes, they don't fit in there, unfortunately. But otherwise, it is backwards compatible. Backwards compatible with your Gemini and all the smaller plates too. Right, we are running out of time rapidly. I hope you found this masterclass really useful, because we've been showing you all the, the craft room essentials. And this is another one. This is your heat resist acetate. You're getting a 3-piece set. So this is 1 pack with 12 sheets, and you're going to get 30 sheets in total. This is a buy two, get one free, because if you're getting them for £8 instead of normally 12, you're going to get, you're saving the price of one. There you go. Absolutely perfect. Platinum price, £6.38 or $9.58. That's coming out at £2.10, £2.12 per pack, which is amazing value for 12 sheets. Now, we need heat resist acetate for certain jobs. It's all about having the right tools for the right job. So Michelle, why do we need heat resist acetate as opposed to regular acetate?
Because it's fabulous. But not only is it fabulous, if you remember, so my light box that I used yesterday, and we put the vellum in, and then we put a die cut element over the top. If you've got an aperture or anything like that, and you want to stamp onto it, then you're going to use your heat resistant acetate. So I've got some on here now. I've just found this stamp next to me. Just going to pop it on there. I'm going to pick it up with this. I'm just going to grab one of my opaques. So I've got fuchsia. You can use any of these because they are all perfect for this technique. If you've got, again, our new duets, you can do the same with those. Oh,
Right, no one can hear that. George just went really, really seriously in Michelle's ear. He just said, "Can you just go back there, Michelle?" And so she looked really shocked because she didn't know what he was talking about. He went, "Back to the fuchsia, please, Michelle."
Oh,
it's a good job. He's a wall away, isn't it?
It
Otherwise,
really
I think
is.
you would have just thumped him.
It absolutely is. Look how beautiful.
It's really crisp and clear, isn't it?
Yeah.
But a regular ink's not going to dry on that, is it? Because it's acetate.
That's it. So I'm just going to make sure that all, and again, I've not gone over it with my anti-static bag. I probably should have done. I've missed a little bit there, so let's go back over there. But it really doesn't matter, just for the point of doing this, just to show you how it works. So I've got my embossing powder on there. I've used my stamping platform. If I needed to go back in because I'd missed a bit, it's exactly the same as if you're going onto normal card. And then we're going to heat set it. So
you don't even need to get your heat gun warm before you start.
Yeah.
You can just go straight in with your heat gun.
That's it, yeah.
And look at that, where it's maybe it looks, my eyesight, but it seems to crisp up the image as soon as you heat set it, doesn't it? It really makes it lovely and crisp. So clever, you can see that.
Yeah, yeah.
And look at that, it's not buckling or bending or warping that acetate at all. I mean, some acetates, if you were to put your heat gun on like that, it would just act like shrink plastic, wouldn't it? And it would be a quarter of the size by now. But that hasn't altered or, you know, it hasn't done the acetate any harm whatsoever, has it?
No, absolutely not. It's working beautifully. So I think I've got it all. So if I turn that off now, you can see, obviously I've got a little bit more ink on some places than on others. But you can see, and I can rub it, look. It's not going anywhere.
It's not going to smudge.
If you've got a sentiment, it heat sets it beautifully. So if you've got a sentiment you want to put on there, my card's buckled more than this piece of acetate has. So you can see it's exactly how you would do it if it was onto card, but you can do it onto the acetate instead.
Absolutely perfect. Right, we're running out of time, so can I just ask you a quick question that Jane L. Staffy's sent in? She says, I just wanted to ask a general question. In the craft along yesterday, Michelle was using clear vellum, but I can't find it on the website. Where do you get your clear vellum from?
So I got it from here. We do sell it. It's an A4 sheet.
A4 sheet.
Of vellum. I don't have the pack with me. I'll get Jake to grab us a pack out, or I'll have a look and then I'll pop it.
But sometimes our patterned ones have clear plain sheets in as well, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, it's just it was. I think there's about 15.
Printable? No.
Vellum.
No, it's vellum we'll look after. Yeah, you're sorry. There we go.
Oh, yeah, it might have been
Nicola
the
thought she'd
printable
found
that I
it.
used.
Yeah, we'll have a look and we'll find it and maybe bring it in later for the next craft along to show you. So yeah, that's perfect. Right. There we go. I think we should. It might not be in stock, but we'll try and find it so that you can get the details, Jane, and then you can pop it down. So have we got time for anything else, or are we finished? Oh, there we go. Right. Talking about craft along. We have a second weekend craft along this weekend. This is your craft along, all about the duet ink pads, isn't it?
Yes, so it's those duet ink pads with the stencils and the stamps that come with it. So I thought, of course I've made a box, but I've made it sort of reminiscent of a book. So I've got my front, and you know when the back of the book, it's always got a very similar picture, but not as detailed. So that's where I was going with that. I've just done a little bit of embossing around here.
I love how you've scored down
to give
there.
it the faux book look. And then if I just open this up, I've got the box.
There we go.
So just closes up beautifully. If we have time, we can stencil in there as well. But I thought, yeah, just again,
George's spider sense is tingling, and he thinks that might trump yesterday's. That's a bold statement, George. That is bold. Yeah, but you got demo of the show wrong earlier. So, well, can we? I don't know. Don't know if we can trust your spider senses, George. But if you want to see all of the tools and equipment that you need for that craft along with Michelle using the Duo ink pads. If you haven't got the Duo ink pads, have a go with just a general water reactive ink pad. You might not get quite the same results, but you're going to get very, very similar. It's all on our Facebook page, and you'll be able to get there, and you'll be able to get all your supplies out ready and craft along, because we would love you to join us, and we'd love to see your pictures when you have finished. So please join us. We've got a crafter. Did we say Tracy? Tracy is joining us later at 2 p.m. in 1 hour, and we'd love to see what you make and what you craft along as well, because that is absolutely beautiful. I'm loving the little charm on the side.
Yeah, that's some of our charms. There's from the Bohemian collection, the little
Dreamcatcher.
Yes, Dreamcatcher.
Absolutely gorgeous. I am loving that, and I can't wait to see that. So thank you for joining us for this last show. Thank you for all your comments. Grace has been sending them through to me. We're going to go and have a quick break, a little bit of lunch, and we will be back in 1 hour showing you how to make that gorgeous book style box. So please join us then. It's going to be an absolutely great afternoon. So until 2 o'clock, see you later.